Hey there everyone, it's Marie here from Nicole Designs, and I'm going to be making a few Christmas cards today using the very small but mighty layered fir tree die set and these bold letter stamps. So it's going to be really simple, and I'm going to start off by cutting my paper. Now this is something that I don't usually show on camera, but it's something handy to know if you want to make card panels for your A2 size cards. Take a regular 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, cut it in half, and then cut it in half, and then you will have 4 card panels to use for your cards. So that's how I cut all of my paper down to size for my A2 size cards. I thought I'd just leave that in there in case you didn't know. Now I'm going to go ahead and stamp on my card panels. I'm grabbing some of these very big, very bold letter stamps from these sets by scrapbook.com, and I'm arranging them on my card panel to spell the word jingle, because that's just a very festive Christmas word, if I do say so myself. So I'm just going to go ahead and arrange them here on my card. I want to make sure that they're all straight and lined up, so I'll fiddle around with them for a few minutes. And if you think of any other words that you want to stamp onto your card bases, go ahead and try it out. I think it's a really fun, really easy way to make a fun background for your cards. Now I'm using a few of the hybrid inks from scrapbook.com. For this first one, I'm actually using a sea blue and a pine green, and I'm blending them up together a little bit. So the blue is on the top there, and I just overlapping those colors a little bit to have them blend in the middle. And then I'm going to use my stamp press or my stamp platform, my MISTI, to stamp this all down. And now since these are such big, bold, solid stamps, you are going to stamp it a number of times to get a nice bold image there. So I don't know how many times I've stamped this, and of course it takes a little bit longer when you're first using these stamps. After you stamp a little bit and clean your stamps off and wipe them down, they're a little bit more seasoned to hold your ink a little bit better. So the first time you use them, you're going to have to work a little bit harder. And I am giving a really good push on the door of my MISTI there just to get all of that ink transferred into my paper. You might also want to let it set for a few minutes when you're done stamping. Come back and you'll see that the colors might even out a little bit because it just takes a minute or two for that ink to soak into the paper. So there is my green and blue one. I'm going to spritz all of these stamps with a little bit of this Brutus Monroe stamp cleaner, and then I have a rag that I use to clean up my area, and I'm just going to give my stamps a really good clean here. And then I did go ahead and make a second card panel using red. So here we have the layered fir tree die. Like I said, it's a small but mighty little die set. You can cut out these little tiny pieces to make a Christmas tree. And what I love is that these pieces are all separate and individual. You can change up the colors, you can make it a small tree, or you can stack it up like I'm going to do to make the tree larger. So it's a tiny little die set, but you can do a lot of different things with it. So I'm cutting out of some gold cardstock and some green glitter cardstock, and I cut that a number of times, and I'm making 2 trees that are really tall, and I'm alternating the green and the gold. I'm using my Artis glue for this. That works really well, and I've sped up the video a little bit so that you can see what I'm doing without it taking all day long. So I'm putting the larger tree pieces on the bottom, the medium size in the middle, and the tinier ones on the top, which is pretty common sense. I'm sure you guys would figure that out by yourself anyway, but I'm making 2 of these very tall trees. Now to do my next part here, I'm taking one of these clearly amazing craft mat things, if you will. They have a very low stick tack to them, so you can pick up your little pieces, and I love using these for little tiny die cuts and projects like this where you want all of your pieces to stay together but you have to move them. So I just pick them up with this clear craft mat here, and I'm putting a strip of foam adhesive on the back of these, so they're going to be glued together with that Artis glue, but they're also being held together with the foam adhesive. So you've got double stick there, if you will, to keep all of the pieces together. Now the glue is still a little bit wet, which helps because I can move it around and get those trees looking the way I want them to. So I'm putting some of those pieces back together. And I just have to laugh because I think these really tall trees, when they're a little bit wonky, just kind of reminds me of Dr. Seuss. I don't know why, but it's a really fun little Christmas card to make. Now I thought about just completely covering the I in the word jingle, but as you can see, when I adhere these down, I'm actually going to leave a little bit of the I peeking out of the bottom, and it ends up looking like the tree trunk, which, I don't know, maybe that's kind of clever. Or maybe not. You can let me know down in the comments what you think. But if you don't want your tree sticking off the top of your card, which I left them kind of sticking off the top of my card, you can always make your tree a little bit shorter or whatever size you want. It's really fun, really easy card. You can change it up any way you want. And so super simple. You could make a bunch of these at once to make a bunch of Christmas cards if you wanted to make a whole set to send out to friends. Just really quick and easy, I think. So turned out really fun. Now to dress up the card a little bit, you got to add a little bit more embellishment. I took some of this red and white baker's twine and I tied some bows and I just glued it to my trees. Now I thought about gluing it to the top, but I actually wanted to glue it down on the bottom just to keep everything within that background sort of area and just the tree itself sticking off the top. I thought that gave it just a really kind of fun element to this card. And then when I was done with my bow and my trees and all of that, I did grab some flat back gold pearls to embellish with. So you'll see that here in a minute. And I have to say, I think the part of this card that took the longest was just figuring out where to put all of those gold pearls, because I was trying to figure out the best way to embellish my background. So I started out embellishing with these gold pieces by just putting a few of them around my Christmas trees, but then I thought I really liked the look of them sort of embellishing each of the letters. They kind of look like Christmas ornaments that you would hang on your tree, and I thought I would just put them on all of the letters and really go all out embellishing the background. And that really finishes the cards. Of course, these are just card panels. I would go ahead and glue these in on top of a card base when I'm ready to, but it didn't take long to make these cards. I thought they turned out really bold and cute, so like I said, you could make a whole set of these in almost no time at all. So let me know down in the comments how you liked today's cards, maybe if you would do something different. Also check out that description box for more links to the things that I've used, and if you haven't already, consider giving this video a thumbs up, like, subscribe, comment, share, and just do all the things, and I'll catch you guys next time. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.